Well, good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Friday Coffee Chat. Now, I realize that this time zone doesn't fit everybody's schedule, so there will be a replay when we're done, and you can catch this on my YouTube page as well a little bit later today. But let's go ahead and get started. I want to just encourage you guys to pay attention to what we've got to say today. I think you're going to find it very valuable. So while we wait for people to join us, I want to go ahead and get started and talk to you guys today about what we're going to be talking about today. There is an expression that says garbage in, garbage out. Now that's in the computer coding world, but also in our mindset. Now, equally as true is that gold in, gold out. What we put in our mind, what we take in on a daily basis matters. So, today I want to share with you guys some of the books that I have been reading over the years and what has helped me transform the way that I think, the way that I live, uh, the inputs that I have determined the outputs that I get. So let's go ahead and get started. Brett, welcome. And thank you for joining the call this morning. Today, we're going to be talking about the books that we read and what forms us mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. I'm going to be sharing some of the books that I have read over the years and continue to read to develop my mindset and to develop my spiritual awareness and strength. And so let's get started, shall we? Good to see
Uh,
you.
Good to see you. I'm in mostly listen only mode. I'm trying to pack for a 2 week trip to St. Louis, and I already have 25 things to accomplish. So I can't
Well,
participate as much.
that's okay. I appreciate you. Now, later on, there's going to be in our school community, there is going to be a poll that talks about these things that, what it is that you're reading and, kind of share with people the books that you're reading and stuff. So you can participate in that. But
Uh,
let's get started in the books that you read that develop it. So many years ago, because of my
Quickly,
own, I'm sorry, say it
can
again.
you do a full screen on yours so I can get? I'm going to turn mine off, and I don't think you need me on the side, or I'll just
Well,
hang up and watch later
yeah, any
because you don't.
idea how to do that? Let's take a look.
I,
Um,
I think it's
I
the 3 dots in the corner of your picture in the left upper corner, maybe it's there.
yeah, maybe
Enter
right
full
there. Let's
screen.
take a look. Enter full screen. There you go. We've got that taken care of. So,
So is that just you now?
it is just me now. I get to
Perfect.
look at an image of me while I talk to you.
Excellent.
All right. Hey, so, oh gosh, many years ago, back in the 80s, for those of you guys who aren't old enough to remember the 80s, but in the 80s I started my mindset journey as it resulted, or as it applied to sales. I was in the sales industry at the time. I did a lot of reading stuff. I did a lot of Tony Robbins stuff. I still do Tony Robbins. I still do his workshops. I even have a one-on-one coaching session with somebody from the Tony Robbins organization. And I also, as I developed those skills, as I started to develop some of those leadership skills, I also realized that I needed some other skills in my life, some spiritual grounding. And so in the early 90s, that's when I started that deal. And I found a couple of books that really helped me. Now there's many. There's a ton. I only have a few scattered around my desk here that I want to share with you guys. But there's John Maxwell. If you guys know who John Maxwell is, he's a former pastor. He pastored a church called Skyline, but he has become an international, just renowned leadership guy. He's authored, I don't know, a bajillion books, but some of the ones that helped me was the one on intentional living, living on purpose. Now that one together with Rick Warren's The Purpose Driven Life, made a big difference, because if you understand what your purpose is, if you understand how you were created, what your unique giftedness is, and in my world, as also being a pastor, knowing who you are and whose you are makes a big difference. So those were very significant in my early development and becoming a person of influence by John Maxwell. Now, as it turns out, many years later, I found myself as a program director, kind of the head of teaching and counseling at a facility that help men coming out of addiction, coming out of imprisonment, start to develop their sense of worth, start to help them develop what their purpose was and where their mindset needs to be. And I don't have a copy of it here. It's at my other office, but for 15 years, I think it's about 15 years, I taught through John Maxwell's Developing the Leader Within You. Now, I did it to help those men, but in reality, when you're teaching others, you're teaching yourself. And so it really helped me submit who I was as a leader as I took men through this book, through these exercises for about 15 years. Now, that's one part. That's one part of my life. Another part, going back to the sales, I forgot to mention this one. The Think and Grow Rich book is along with the Tony Robbins books and some of the other great books by Napoleon Hill and some other fantastic leaders in the sales industry. R.G. Letourneau, Mover of Men and Mountains, was a fantastic book for me as well. He was in the heavy equipment business and created heavy equipment for really just moving mountains. But he was also a very faithful man, and he learned to live on only 10% of what he earned. Now, he did earn a tremendous amount of money, but he turned the script upside down. Rather than living that lavish life that 90% of his income could lead to, he decided to live on 10% of what he made, and he gave away the rest. But fascinating read as well. I was at an event, and there was a comedian that was talking, and I can't pronounce his name correctly. I'm sure I can't pronounce his name correctly. Let me see if I can find it on here. His first name's Jeff. Last one starts with a C. I just looked at it just a few minutes ago. Well, yeah, that's his autographed copy of this book, but it's called Life Choices. Basically, it's about following your passion, and my wife and I believe in that 100%. Quick story about following your passion. My wife and I have been in the real estate property management business for 28 years. She started with a small company. She realized that she could make a lot more if she kind of went out on her own or she joined a company that had a different compensation plan. And so we did that. Well, the owner of the first company was talking to her, and she had explained to him that she needed to follow her passion. This was her passion. She absolutely loves the property management business. She likes it. So, I mean, she eats, breathes, sleeps this business, the property management business. She's the best at it, but it's because it's her passion. And so the owner of that company asked her to come and to speak to the staff. This is a few years after she left, but to come in and speak to the staff about following your passion. And so she did. She came in and she did a little seminar for them about following your passion. And she talked about her passion for that business. And it went really well. After the event, a young lady came up to her and was talking to her about following her passion. And at that moment, she made a decision. She was quitting the company because it wasn't her passion. So he hired her to come in and help people develop their passion, but also it helped someone realize it wasn't their passion. And so she went on to another business. Now, that company has done well. They're still around. That's just the example of one person, but the message stuck. You know, my father used to say, when work becomes work, it's time to find new work. You know, if it's not your passion, you're not going to enjoy it. And I absolutely love everything that I do. You know, my wife loves the property management business and I get to help her with it, but that's not my passion. My passion is being a pastor, helping people grow mentally and spiritually, helping people with their weight issues, the nutrition. As a former chef, I love the nutritional world. Even though I got quite large in my own life, I topped out at over 355 pounds, but that's because I love food and I was classically French trained. And so, you know, I like butter and I like fat. So, uh, but over the last several years, I've managed to lose 100 pounds and start to reshape the body. But I have a passion for food. I have a passion for nutrition. I have a passion for pastoring. I have a passion for coaching. I've coached several sports teams, championship teams, participated in them. I love the competition, all of those things. And those are where my passions lie. Now, some of the other things that have shaped me over the years is when I went into the recovery business, when I started talking to guys about changing their life and doing that 180-degree turn. Now, I started the 180-degree living moniker well, yeah, it's been over 30 years ago now. And I've just recently kind of brought that tagline back into everything that I do because it does encompass the ministry that I do, the businesses that I run is all about making that change and understanding that if you're going in the wrong direction, it's time to stop, turn around, go the other way. But one of the books that we did was called The Search for Significance, because every man that I have ever met wants to be a person of significance, and their choices, good or bad, has caused them to start to lose that image of themselves or that drive of themselves to do something significant. Now, when we were kids, we all dreamed of being a superhero. We all dreamed of being Babe Ruth, or well, that tells you my age. We want to be Babe Ruth or Hank Aaron or Johnny Bench or some great. We wanted to be Bradshaw. We wanted to be some great football player, baseball player. We wanted to be a fireman. We wanted to be a policeman. Now, my father was a policeman. And so there was a great image of being that community servant. And my grandfather was also a great community servant. So that idea of serving our community has been instilled in me since I was a really young kid. But this book tells you the search for significance really boils down to knowing who you are and whose you are in God's design for you. And it helps you work through some conflict issues that you might have, talking about what you've done in the past, maybe what you should have done and how you would do it differently today. And that was a requirement when I went to work for the organization that I went to work for. I simply told them, if you want me, this book comes with me. If this book doesn't come with me, I don't go. That's how powerful this book has been over the years. And then along the way, along my life, I got remarried. Now, my first marriage was to a wonderful woman, and I tell people all the time, she didn't do anything wrong. I did. I went off the rails in my mid 20s and got a divorce. By the way, we're still friends now. We have a great relationship, but I have remarried. But I understand the power of how you think about marriage. Now, it's no secret to those who know me that my first marriage, I kinda took the mindset of a Marine Corps father that I had, of a Texas police officer father that I had, and not that he did anything wrong, but he kinda lived by the me Tarzan, you Jane rule, and I found out that that did not work. So, fortified marriages. This is a a book written by some friends in ministry, and it's a great deal. I take newlyweds or newly about to be weds through it. It's a marriage manual and whatever, but how to build and maintain a strong marriage and family, because I needed to learn how to do marriage all over again. Obviously, the first one didn't work, so I needed to know how to make a marriage work and base it on who we are and what we're becoming. Because honestly, in my first marriage, I wasn't as concerned about who she was becoming. I was concerned about what I was going to do. I was concerned about the money I was going to make. I was concerned about what my happiness, my stuff. And it was about me and not her and not us. So that's another foundational book that I do. And then here's something that may apply to some of you, hopefully a lot of you. But just in case, I already told you that I'm a pastor. So that brings in this book, the Bible. So daily reading really makes a difference. Now, I encourage people in my church to read one psalm a day, or excuse me, five psalms a day and one proverb a day. And you do that, you go through all of them in 30 days, and then you just get to start over. Now, today's the 27th as we're recording this. And in here, is the passage that says, "As iron sharpens iron, so one man sharpens another," and that really speaks to the importance of a good community. I love this school community. I love all the communities that I'm a part of because we get to sharpen each other with ideas and suggestion. We share our trials, we share our victories, and that really makes us stronger together. So, this book here, empty pages are there, but this is my prayer. This is my prayer guide. So I write down things to pray about for myself. I write down things to pray about for others. By the way, Brett, you're in it, right? So I pray for my school community people. I pray for my church people. I pray for my friends and my family. And what that does is that cements in the mind that I want to positively impact the people that I'm around. It imprints that, I have a concern for everyone's spiritual well-being, and so I want to pray for that, and it just cements it in my brain. Now, when I was running a recovery program, I used to tell the staff all the time, every morning when you come in, I want you to take the roster. We had a roster of different groups of men, and each counselor was responsible for a certain group. And I would tell them, take the roster of your group, set it on your desk before you start your workday, and pray through it. You're praying for John and Bob and Steve and Fred and all the people. You're praying for them. That sets up your mindset as how you look at others as well. Trust me, if you're praying for somebody's growth, their mental growth, their spiritual growth, their physical uh, needs, and all that, if you're praying for those things, you know that it's almost impossible to be mad at them, to look down upon them, to think that they're bothering you, because your heart is now set, your mind and your heart is now set for their greater good. So, anyway, the point of this conversation today is, where's your mindset? What are you feeding your mind on a daily basis? Now, today we're talking about books. And if you go in my community, you're going to see a book section, which is great. And it's got some books that I have written. The challenge is they haven't been published yet, so you can't get to them. Let's see if I can move out of the way. Yeah, they're all sitting in manuscripts right back there underneath the all the coffee cups I've got. The manuscripts are done. I just need to get them published to make them available to you guys. I think you'll find them healthy. But what I'd like from you guys that are watching live, or if you're doing the replay, is to share with the rest of the group, share with everybody. What are you reading now? to change your mindset, to put you in position to do the things that you really want to accomplish. Now, I've got friends that are bodybuilders, and they just constantly consuming information about exercise and building the body and the nutritional facts. And you talk to them, you think they're scientists, but that's their passion. Their passion is transforming their body. I've got a friend of mine who is 68, and he is actually he's a business partner of mine, in incredible shape, and he's at the gym all the time, and he's always talking about all these different things about the body. I have another friend of mine who's also 68 years old, and he is in the competitive bodybuilding world, and phenomenal, phenomenal shape. And he's doing all these shows throughout the year, and it just blows my mind that someone at 68 years old could look like that. Now, that's never been my passion. It's never been my desire to have a body like that. I just want to be fit. I want to be able to do the things that my grandkids want to do. I want to have the energy to do it. So, someone put earlier in another community is about grandparents on the things that we do for our grandkids. Is it listening? Is it giving advice? Is it being the playful one? Is it doing all these things? And I answered, it's really all those things. Now, I'm not really the playful one for them anymore. They're growing. They're most of them are in their 20s now. A couple of them, two of them are still younger than that. So my role is the listener. My role is the wise advisor. Now, remember when we started this, I told you that it was garbage in, garbage out, gold in, gold out, because I have spent so much time making sure that I have the right information going into my brain, the right information sinks down into my heart, and the right information comes out of my mouth. So I get to be the wise advisor to my kids and grandkids as they're growing and developing themselves, versus who I was over 30 years ago. I probably wouldn't have been. I'm glad that happened when my children were very, very young, because they don't remember me that way. They only know me as their dad, the pastor, their dad, the community leader, their dad, the encourager. That's all they know me as, which is wonderful. But they come to me for advice. Even my ex-wife comes to me for advice, and that's a wonderful feeling, because what you put into your body, what you put into your mind, truly matters. So if you're watching this on YouTube, you can subscribe to the school page. It's school.com backslash live 180 degrees, or the 180 degree lifestyle. You'll be able to find me on there. If you are part of the school community, I just simply ask that you would leave a comment. Let us know what you're doing. What are you reading? What book, if you have one, what book has really single handedly changed your life? I mean, just completely changed your direction. Like you read a book and you went, "This is me. This is for me. This is who I want to be. This is my passion." Everyone has one of those. So please, when you get an opportunity, go ahead and let me change positions here, leave the full screen for just a second. All right. So if that is you, please put it in there. I know this has been a shorter coffee chat. It's only been about 24, 25 minutes this morning, but I think I covered a lot of stuff really fast. And I hope that it helped you. I hope that you enjoyed it. More importantly, I hope that you comment on it and share your wisdom with others. So, you guys have a great day. I look forward to talking to you again real soon. And that will conclude our recording. Do, do, do.